All right, guys, we're live. We are live with another one, guys. Okay, let me bring this camera a little bit more focused right there on the center, which is motherfucking me, guys. All right, we got big news, guys. Hold on a second. I got to bring this brightness up because I look like an anus. Guys, we have big news, okay? Amanda Nunes is back in the bantamweight division, guys. That is the most exciting thing that can happen in that division, which, guys, that division is in shambles. Okay, the women's bantamweight division, I repeat, is in shambles. Okay, the only interesting thing that actually happened was Kayla Harrison coming to the division, beating Juliana Pena. Okay, beating her like a drum. Okay, bringing her down, almost ripping her shoulder apart from her body and taking it home as a trophy. Kayla Harrison, all right, is the savior of the bantamweight division. All right, because that alone, that move alone has brought the greatest women's fighter, arguably of all time, guys, in Amanda Nunes. Coming back after years and years of a layoff. But prior to that layoff, guys, let's not forget Amanda Nunes. All right, she is the GOAT. Amanda Nunes was reigning over that division. Amanda Nunes was that chick that will go into fights, and you know for a fact it's going to be a barn burner. Okay, you saw what she did to Chris Cyborg, laid her ass out. Everybody thought Chris Cyborg and Amanda Nunes was gonna have a banger at 5 round fight, but guess what? Amanda Nunes goes in there and destroys her in the first round, guys. Hello, guys. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. And guys, do not forget to click that bell notification, okay? It keeps us all connected in this beautiful community. And thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. But back at the topic at hand, guys. Kayla Harrison is the savior of the women's bantamweight division, which that division was in shambles. O'Malley stopped smoking and gooning just to get finished this time rather than losing via decision. Ariane just, he hit it right on the head, guys. He hit it right ahead. It did not matter what Sean O'Malley did. Okay. If you are not new to my channel, hopefully you watch my shorts because I actually broke down what Sean O'Malley can do to improve, himself going into this fight against Merab. But unfortunately, Sean O'Malley definitely did not evolve. Okay, we saw little moments. Yeah, he was able to get back up to his feet the first time in the first round when Merab did take him down. However, there was the footwork horrible. Footwork on Sean O'Malley was horrible. Okay, he actually got outstruck by Merab, guys. Merab beat him like a drum, basically. Okay, there was nothing that Sean O'Malley can do correct in the octagon against Merab. He looked horrible. Footwork horrible. Okay. The ability to actually land a combination, guys, Sean O'Malley doesn't even know what a combination is anymore. Okay. I mean, yeah, back then he looked great. Against the right opponent, the UFC, they really sold us a pile of shit, let me tell you, because Sean O'Malley looked like this technical wizard. But, guys, he really isn't. He really isn't, man. He just, he looked horrible. What about Chimaev versus DDP? Who you got for that? Guys, I've been waiting on this fight for a long time. If you're not new to my channel, this is the one fight that I've been talking about since basically 2024. I wanted to watch this fight since ever. Okay. And we're already in 2025, and hopefully everything stays intact because we already know, guys, we already know that the UFC, they are prone to having their pay-per-views fall apart. Okay. So I'm just hoping and praying to the MMA gods that this fight right here, DDP versus Chimaev, stays intact. I need that in my life. Okay? I need that in my life. Now, if I had to talk specifics, look, DDP is the 2.0 version of Keith Jardine. Okay? If you're not new to mixed martial arts and the UFC specifically, guys, then you know who Keith Jardine is. Go watch his fights. I mean, the guy was in the octagon doing the bird, guys. Doing the bird. Okay. There was nobody else doing it back then like Keith Jardine was. Okay. And when I look at DDP, I'm just looking at him. I'm like, man, DDP is like a 2.0 version of Keith Jardine. He really is. I mean, he just fumbles himself into a win, guys. He really does. All right, but Chimaev is a monster. You saw what he did to the Reaper in Robert Whitaker. He took him down at will, destroyed him. Uh, so if I had to pick somebody, man, I'm picking Chimaev for that fight. But it's gonna be a much tougher fight than Chimaev thinks because DDP is a tough son of a bitch. I felt bad for O'Malley after his loss. Guy looked broken from inside. Guys, the only person that he needs to be disappointed on is himself. Okay, I mean, guys, the guy did everything correct. Okay, the guy did everything correct. He stopped gooning, right? He stopped having sex. He stopped doing drugs. He fucking he stopped watching, social media. He damn near he damn near stopped looking in the mirror. Okay, that's basically what he did for the whole camp. He trained with champions like Adesanya. You know what I mean? Demetrius Johnson. He trained with the best of the best for this camp, guys. And still, he was not able to even look like a top 10 against Merab. Let's be real, guys. Merab destroyed him. All right, he made him look like a little boy. He really did. He made him look like a little boy. It was nothing that Sean O'Malley can do. His combinations were horrible. He looked horrible. It was all horrible. So in my opinion, that's not really Sean O'Malley's fault. That's the UFC fault. The UFC know what they were selling when they gave us Sean O'Malley, guys. Okay, they knew it. That's why go look at his record. Go look at his record. His opponents were stylistically the right opponents for Sean O'Malley to look a certain way. Okay? And now we're going to see Sean O'Malley really make some decisions because, there could be a future where there's a rematch against Peter Yan, and I believe Peter Yan won that fight against Sean O'Malley. Okay? And there could be, a future where we actually see, Umar Nurmagomedov against, Sean O'Malley. That's a sellable fight. You don't even need a belt for that. People want to see that ass whipping. Okay? So, a lot of exciting things. Yeah, but, bruh, Manuel Cape pulled out. Now Joshua Van is in for fight. What a savage. Joshua Van, guys, go watch my other video that I just made of the post-fight UFC 316. Guys, I talked about specifics. I talked about Joshua Van, and I said, you got to give credit when credit is due. Joshua Van he's a monster, okay? Joshua Van is a banger, all right? Yeah, he's not, this all-around mixed martial arts fighter where you're going to see him use his, all-around game, which, some takedowns, some mixture of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, some stand-up striking. He's not that type of fighter. He's the type of fighter when you see him in the octagon, you prepare yourself because he's about to knock somebody's head off, okay? Or get knocked out. But he is on a winning streak, okay? And he just, made quick work of his last fight that he just had on Saturday. And now he's going to step in against, arguably, the number one contender. So on short notice, we'll see if Joshua Van could, rise to the occasion. But hopefully he can. Hopefully he can. Who you got, Islam or Jack? Guys, if I had to pick somebody right now from the top of my head, I'm giving it to Islam just for the simple fact that fight. I mean, I watched that fight 3 times now. I watched the JDM versus Bilal Muhammad fight, and the more I watch it, I'm just being honest, guys. I'm just being real, and I'm not saying this just to say it. I'm being real. I watched the fight 3 times now. Okay, and from my opinion, that fight was close as hell. That Bilal Muhammad versus JDM fight, that fight was close as hell, man. It really was. It really was. Like, if you watch my past videos, post-fight of that, fight JDM versus Bilal Muhammad, I actually said going into the 5th round, I thought it was 2-2, and you could have given, and in the 5th round, I thought Bilal Muhammad was winning the 5th round because he was landing more combinations in the first minute or two. But then JDM started landing more punches, landed a knee, cut Bilal Muhammad towards the end of the round. But the more I've watched that fight, I'm like, man, I mean, you could have given that fight to Bilal Muhammad. Really, you really could have. So so when it comes to Islam and JDM, I gotta give it to Islam because I think Islam he's gonna use his wrestling. he's going to use his all-around mixed martial arts, and he's going to use it to win the welterweight strap, and he will. Um, Glazing Sean is crazy. Look, I'm not glazing Sean. I'm definitely not. You know, what I mean, hopefully you're talking about Sean O'Malley. I'm definitely not. I think he looked horrible in this fight in UFC 316. Marab ragdolled him. You know, made him look not even like a top 10, to be honest with you. So when it comes to Sean O'Malley, he has a lot of evolving to do. He needs to go to back to the drawing board and admit to himself that he is not. He is nowhere near even a top 5 fighter. He really isn't. I mean, look at the top 5. You think he's beating Umar Nurmagomedov? Hell no. You think he's beating Peter Yan on a rematch? Hell no. Peter Yan won that first fight. That is pure facts. Okay. You think he's beating um Henry Cejudo? I don't even see him beating Henry Cejudo. I'm dead serious. Let me see. O'Malley can actually move up to featherweight. He is a smart fighter. Guys, we had a 135er hold him down and beat the shit out of him in the first fight for 5 rounds. And then in the second fight, he looked horrible. He got dominated and he got submitted quicker, faster. So no. I don't want to see Sean O'Malley. I thought I wanted to see Sean O'Malley move up, but I'm just being real. No, I don't want to see Sean O'Malley move up. He would look horrible. He wouldn't even be a top 15 in in the featherweight division. I'm just being real, guys. I'm just being real. That's idiotic. Marab, a 135er, held him down and submitted him, and you think a 145er is not going to be able to do the same? You're sleeping at the wheel, guys. Come on. You're sleeping at the wheel. Ben is 23 tons of potential. Yan, I agree, man. I agree. He definitely needs to evolve his mixed martial arts overall game. But he has great abilities. Great ability standing on his feet. His boxing is tremendous. He doesn't really use a lot of kicks, but he mixes it up a little bit. What about Arman? What do you think he will verse next? I think Justin. If Justin Gaethje gets the fight with Arman, that's the worst case scenario for Justin Gaethje because Justin Gaethje is not winning that fight. Justin Gaethje will get dominated by Arman. Arman is arguably the number 1 contender. He should be, in my opinion, he's the one who should be fighting for the belt. It should be Charles Oliveira versus Arman rematch, or I wouldn't be mad if it was Ilia Topuria versus Arman, but Arman would destroy Ilia Topuria. The just pure strength that Arman has over Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria could stand there and throw his best punch on Arman, and I don't see him getting knocked out. Just being real. So, yeah, if Justin Gaethje does get that Arman fight, Justin Gaethje is going to get destroyed, guys. Be prepared for an ass whipping. Who you picking this weekend? Man, look, guys, I'm gonna make my UFC fight prediction most likely tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm most likely going to do it early morning tomorrow for my UFC fight prediction for this Saturday. So stay tuned to that. Okay, I will be going live tomorrow morning and giving my UFC fight prediction for this weekend. So, look, a little breakdown, all right? When it comes to Usman, a lot of people forget the guy is a legend. A lot of people forget Usman was in one of the best winning streaks of all time. All right. A lot of people forget Usman was in a 19-fight winning streak, guys. 19-fight winning streak, guys. His welterweight reign was ridiculous. Okay. So a lot of people forget this about Usman. However, he is on a 3-fight losing streak. Hasn't won a fight since basically Colby Covington. All right. Now Colby Covington is a dead body when you see him. You know what I mean? All respects to him. Cool guy. Usman has been out of the game. He's been, on his pound for pound podcast with Henry Cejudo, doing that for a good amount of time now. So he's been away from the octagon. So I just wonder if ring rust is going to be the case for Usman coming back against a guy like Buckley who looks for big power punches. You know what I mean? And Buckley is hot right now. He's on a winning streak. He's knocking people out, and he's showing that he's really, really a strong contender, in that welterweight division. So will Usman use his knowledge of the game, his experience of the game to beat Buckley, or will Buckley show up and show out? I'm not sure, guys. You know what I mean? You'll see tomorrow morning for my UFC fight predictions, but that will be this weekend is going to be a great, great fight. All right, that's a good fight right there. Very interesting. Yo, what's up, Mars? What's up? Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, did you guys hear that shit? Oh my god. I hit my knee on the table. I hit my knee on the table. Oh, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. I want to pick this table up right now and destroy this motherfucker. But if I do that, I'll probably break my fucking table. And I'll probably break my motherfucking. Oh, my phone. Oh my god, that hurt. Okay. Sorry. Ooh, that hurt like a motherfucker. Sorry about that, guys. Let me see. Buckley is for real beating Unk of welterweight division. We'll see, Aryan. We'll see. What about Islam versus Jack? I already said Islam. Buckley has all the physical advantages. Well, Mars. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you. I mean, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but sometimes having all the physical advantages is not the person who wins. Sometimes the person who could put it all together in a 3-round fight is the person who wins. And I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure who's going to win that fight right now, guys. Hey everyone. I like gloves. That's what's up, Sam's Gloves. What's up? Do you have any disposable gloves, plastic gloves, rubber gloves, cleaning gloves, surgical gloves at home? No, I don't have any of those gloves, any of those. But welcome back to the chat, man. Welcome back to the chat. You are a legend on the chat. Sam's Gloves. So welcome back to the chat, man. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, guys. All right, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. Okay, and don't forget to click that bell notification, guys. All right, it keeps us all connected in this beautiful community that you guys are building. All right, you guys are building this community, so thank you. I appreciate it. 10-9 to the table. 10-9 to the table. You think 10-9? Or what do you mean? Like you think Usman loses? You're saying 10-9 to the oh yeah. 10. You can actually Mars. You could say 10-8. 10-8 to the table. I got man that was potential torn ACL. I got to check it. You know what I mean? Potential blown out knee, MCL. It could be any one of those right now. But I'm going through this. You know what I mean? I'm sitting down. I'm relaxing. I'm letting my adrenaline take over, and I'm gonna stick to this live. All right. Instagram posts are hilarious. Fans saying one knee stomp and it's over for Usman. Uh, it could be, guys. It could be Aryan. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, Usman, he's been out of the game for a while. He is a lot older, so we're gonna see if he looks like a shell of himself, man. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see, but it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. He wants to make some DIY. Yeah. Um, but yeah, guys. I mean, what do you think about this? Oh yeah, going back to the topic, guys. Oh my God, I got lost on the comments here. But the main topic of discussion, guys, was the best case scenario for the bantamweight division, which is the women's bantamweight division. We're not talking about the men's bantamweight division. That division is in great hands. Marab is taking that division to new levels. Okay, but let's talk about the women's bantamweight division right now, which is in shambles. And the savior of that division is Kayla Harrison, because Kayla Harrison alone beat Juliana Pena and brought out Amanda Nunes for a potential mega fight. Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. Best case scenario right now is that Kayla Harrison beats Amanda Nunes. That is the best case scenario. And then they do a rematch, and Amanda Nunes beats Kayla Harrison. So now they're 1-1. And then they have a trilogy fight, which it doesn't really matter who wins at that point, in my opinion. The reason why I say that's the best case scenario right there is to have a trilogy with Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes is because those are the two only those are literally the two only females in that division that are exciting. There's nothing else in the women's bantamweight division that is exciting. Okay, so if Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes could potentially have a three-fight trilogy, that could stall up the division for like about 2.5 years, or maybe a year and a half at the least, right? A year and a half at the least. And during that year and a half, the UFC can do their due diligence and search out more females for that bantamweight division because that bantamweight division sucks. All right, it's in shambles, guys. So stalling out the division with Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes getting into a trilogy fight that'll last for about a year and a half, almost two. I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? I'd rather see that than anything else in that division right now, guys. All right. I really hated Patchy Mick's performance, bro. Is a grappler and tried to kickbox for 15 minutes. Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the fight was in short notice. You never know. So the fight was in short notice, and Patchy Mix probably thought he didn't have the energy, the stamina to wrestle and last 3 rounds. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably the thought process of Patchy Mick standing in kickboxing for 15 minutes is because he potentially thought, man, I don't have the stamina. You know what I mean? This was a fight on short notice, and I'm just struggling to make weight. So I just want to make weight, and I know for a fact I'm not gonna get a chance to really use my wrestling or Brazilian Jiu Jitsu because the fight was on short notice. So that's probably what happened there with Patchy Mix. The UFC, they didn't do these fighters right, and give them the right matchups to make them look good because a lot of these guys coming into the UFC, they're getting the ass beat. Nunes will win, in my opinion. Yan, I hear you. I hear you. But I hope Kayla Harrison wins the first one. And then the rematch, Amanda Nunes wins. And then the trilogy fight, I don't give a damn who wins. Okay. I just want that division to be stalled for at least a year and a half so the UFC can have, time to really build that division. They need to find females. They need to search out females, travel the world. You know what I mean? Have that YouTube channel with Dana White searching for a fight with what's his name on the show with him, and go travel the world. Find females that want to fight in the bantamweight division. Fucking sucks that division, man. Kayla versus Pacheco was the blueprint for Nunes to gameplay against Kayla. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Aryan. I see what you're saying. Remember when we had fights like Juliana versus Ray Lee in the women's division? Now it's just tumbleweed. Mars, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more with you. That's the reason why I rather watch Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes stall out, the bantamweight division for a year and a half. I'd rather see that. I'd rather see a trilogy fight because there's nobody there, man. There's nobody in that division. That division is in shambles, man. Back then there was so many good fights, so many great fights. You know, and now it's a fucking joke out there. You know what I mean? And all respect to all those fighters out there who are females. All respect to them, but I'm just being real, man. You guys are how how is it that you know the women's division it really evolved to the point where you had a fighter like Amanda Nunes, right? You had a fighter like Amanda Nunes. You had a fighter like Juliana Joanna Jędrzejczyk, right? You have fighters like Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Wei Lee, the Bullet, Valentina Shevchenko. You have fighters like that, and the women's division evolved to that, and then all of a sudden, it's almost as if nobody evolved. Like only the key players who are champions evolved to this level that's unheard of. But everybody else, it was just like they never evolved. It's crazy to me. It's almost as if if you still watch the women's bantamweight division, they're stuck in the 1991 version of the Ultimate Fighter when Royce Gracie was fucking fighting. Like, do you see some of their fucking fights? Oh my god, it's horrible. Oh, the technique is horrible. The striking is horrible. I'm just like, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. It really is. What up, bro? Any updates on Askren? I don't know, man. I heard from his wife that he's still sick. He's still in the hospital. It's all due to an infection. You know what I mean? Something that, usual, wrestlers and mixed martial arts fighters usually get, like staph infection. And I believe it came from that, man. And that's scary, man. That's one of the, guys, I say this all the time, man. That's one of the reasons why I stay away from gyms now. I don't go to train at gyms. I don't. I only train with my friends, specific people that we keep each other safe, man. You know what I mean? And bro, like that's disgusting. A lot of these fighters be getting staph all over the place, and to hear about Ben Askren getting staph and it turning into something worse, into a badass infection that puts you in basically in a coma state, that's fucking crazy. That's just, oh my god, that's disgusting. Actually, it just shows gyms are not very cleanly. I think Kayla will retire. Hold on, let me read this. Remember? Oh yeah, I remember that. I think Kayla will retire after a few fights because the weight cut is extreme. Well, that's the reason why I'd rather watch, Kayla Harrison, do a 3 fight trilogy fight with Amanda Nunes. I'd rather watch that. And if they space it out correctly, those 3 fights, I think Kayla Harrison can make the weight. I don't think it'll be hard on her. You know what I mean? Especially if they space it out. Did you watch Grasso versus Silva? I think Silva has potential to become champion. Yeah, Silva is one of those girls that she looked great. She looked great. She looked awesome against Grasso. Grasso looked terrible. She looked stiff. She really did. Grasso looked stiff. She wasn't landing her normal combinations. Grasso's boxing, I thought was going to be the difference there. I did pick Silva to win that fight, but I also thought Grasso would still land her combinations that she usually lands, and she didn't really look good on her feet. It's almost as if Silva's footwork really was confusing Grasso. So congratulations to Silva. She looked really good on that fight for sure. Yeah, prayers up for Askren. 100% speed recovery for real. Yeah, man. I hope Ben Askren could. Yeah, I hope Ben Askren could get healthy, man. You know, that's scary. That is scary. Yo, I won my fight by unanimous decision, Alex! Alex won his fight, guys! Alex won his fight. Everybody, give shout outs. Give shout outs to Alex. Give shout outs to Alex. Congratulations to Alex. He won his fight, guys. I've been waiting for this for a minute. I mean, you could go watch my past lives, even on that Sunday, because I told Alex, Alex told me if I'll go live on Sunday, he'll give me the good news. And I knew it'll be good news, okay? And I've been waiting, okay? I've been waiting patiently, waiting to make it through all the hate in the debate. I've been waiting, guys. I've been waiting for Alex to come back on the chat and tell us the good news. And guys, Alex has won his fight by unanimous decision. Congratulations to Alex. That is awesome. That is awesome, Alex. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. I told you, you know what I mean? You're on your way. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Focus. All right. Focus. Stay away from the distractions. All right. And indulge. All right. Indulge in this victory and relish. Today I got my 3rd stripe blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Congratulations to Aryan. That's what's up. 3rd stripe blue belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Congratulations to Aryan. That is awesome, man. That is awesome. One day, if I'm ever into town, I got to pull up and we got to do some, rolling. We got to do some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Aryan. You know what I mean? I'll bring my gi. Okay, I'll bring my gi and I'll show up in house, ready to show out. All right. Juice Man, yes, congratulations. Yes, Alex is a fighter, man. Juice Man, Alex is a fighter. Congrats, Alex. Yes, congrats, Alex. Uh, nice, Alex. We remember you. Yes, Mars. Yes, congratulations to Alex. Appreciate the love and the energy. I'll always be in the chat. Yes, Alex. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. I really do. Congrats, Alex. Yes, Juice Man. Yes, yes. But guys, that's really all I can say when it comes to that women's bantamweight division. All right, pretty much all I can say, to be honest. I just want a trilogy fights. I just want trilogy fights with Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes, and let that stall out that division, and let the women's division get situated with the UFC. Let them search out some more females, because that 135 division it's in shambles, guys. All right, let's be honest, it's in shambles. But guys, we're past the 30-minute mark, and if you're not new to the channel, guys, you know what happens after the 30-minute mark. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be mixed martial arts related. Rapid fire, guys. Rapid fire. Let me know what's up. Let me know what is going on, guys. But yeah, man. I mean, when it comes to Merab, man, he's the GOAT. He is the GOAT. I think he's pound for pound. I'm most likely gonna do another live talking about, specifically that I think Merab is pound for pound, man. I think he's pound for pound GOAT, number one. If you look at the pound for pound rankings right now, I think Islam is number one, and Merab is number two, and number three is John Jones. I honestly think Merab should be number one. He's been the more active fighter. He's been fighting people in his division, and all the former champions that Merab has beaten, it needs to be more. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be highlighted a little more. His reign is crazy. Hasn't lost since 2018. 13 fight win streak. Merab is amazing. All right, so he needs to be the pound for pound GOAT right now, number one in my opinion. Did you hear of Gaethje wanting to retire if he doesn't get a title shot? Who gives a shit? Your last performance was shit. Kidding me? You fought that guy on short notice. That guy came on short notice, and you landed an egg. All right, it wasn't an exciting fight to me. All right, both guys looked exhausted. Why is it that you look just as exhausted as the guy that just stepped in a week notice? Huh? Tell me that, Justin Gaethje. And you want to be in a championship fight? Bullshit. What do you think? You're gonna win? You think you're gonna win? Come on, guys. Let's be real. All right. Justin Gaethje has no abilities on the ground. What, he's gonna fight Charles Oliveira and knock him out? You're sleeping at the wheel. You're thinking that's happening. All right. Charles Oliveira will submit him like that. Just a thought of the submission will come up, and by the time the thought will finish, Justin Gaethje will be getting submitted by Charles Oliveira, guaranteed. Justin Gaethje needs to stand his base. All right, that's what Justin Gaethje needs to do. Stand his base. All right, stick to your position right now, which is being in exciting fights, and stick to that. You know what I mean? Two more fights of Justin Gaethje, and you're out of here, guys. That's my opinion. Pantoja is so underrated, bro. Cleared his division and ranked pound for pound 11th. Yeah, they don't really give respect. They don't really give respect to that 125 division. Um, I guess it's not as stacked as the lightweight division and the bantamweight division and the featherweight division. So that's most likely why. Everyone wants a title shot off of one win now. I mean, the craziest thing that I saw was Yair Rodriguez, potentially fighting for the belt. That shit literally almost made me puke. And just the thought process of Yair Rodriguez being on there telling everybody, yeah, the UFC told me if I beat Pitbull, I'll get a title shot. So I beat Pitbull and I'm gonna get a title shot. It's gonna be me involved. Just the thought of seeing that, and then I actually saw it. I I didn't know what to say to myself. I really didn't know what to say to myself. It makes me think that the UFC, they're literally sleeping at the wheel, and so is Yair Rodriguez. Definitely doesn't deserve a title shot. Definitely doesn't. Stand your base, mate. Yeah, man. Exactly. That's yes. Yeah, Aryan. That's exactly what he needs to do. All right. Do you think MMA media should do a better job at highlighting up highlighting up and comer fighters instead of calling cards without big names boring? I mean, that's I do think, yeah, I do think they should. They definitely should do that. But I don't know if the UFC are interested in expanding that thought process, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like for instance, I mean I said a while back when Carlos Prates, came into the UFC. I said a while back, Carlos Prates is gonna be he's gonna be something interesting in this welterweight division. Because Carlos Prates, man, he goes in there to bang. He's the type of fighter that the UFC likes. And I said that a while ago, and then we found his success. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he lost against Ian Gary as of recent, but Ian Gary is the number one contender potentially in that welterweight division. One more fight, and Ian Gary is fighting for that gold. So Carlos Prates, he's not far from that. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to do my due diligence of highlighting fighters, that are coming up as well. But I don't know how potentially the UFC will be able to do that unless they do it in a way where they have a specific, Instagram that highlights, up and comers, and it highlights their last fights, whether it was a knockout or a submission or something exciting that they can highlight from that potential fighter that's an up and comer, and they can put it on their Instagram or on their Twitter and try to promote them in that way. But these days, the UFC is not promoting fighters, and that's pure facts. So them, putting that much energy into it, I don't think they'll do that. You know what I mean? And when it comes to the media itself, the media is in my opinion the general media, the media that's there, day in and day out asking the questions, at the press conference after the fights. Those are the guys that the UFC trusts. So those are not going to be the guys that are going to highlight the up and comers because they're more interested in what can give them the more views and more clicks. Unfortunately, look like Mario. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, guys, if you are new to the channel. Okay, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. All right, and don't forget to click that bell notification, guys. It keeps us all connected in this beautiful community that you guys are building for the fans, by the fans. You heard. So Um, but yeah, man, I really don't know. I really don't know when it comes to that question. But that was an interesting question, Alex. That was a really really interesting question. It really was. It really was. Um, but yeah, I'm most likely gonna make my UFC fight predictions for this Saturday tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm most likely gonna make it tomorrow morning. Give you the 411 on that one. And as it stands right now, guys, I am 117 and 83. That is 117 wins and 83 losses for my UFC fight prediction as it stands for 2025. And guys, the goal for 2025 for this channel was to reach 500 subscribers. And guys, we're halfway through the year and we already surpassed 500 subscribers. So congratulations to you guys. Congratulations to this channel. We're pushing for 1,000. So hopefully by the end of the year we could get there. And you got to thank you and thank the community for really supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys. I think you can do both. I think you can do both. Uh, it's just that there's a noticeable decline in main card names this year. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I just don't. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if the UFC, if you're talking about Alex, question that he just asked. I don't know if the UFC are willing to put that much energy into it though. That's the problem. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That's why I say. I mean, when you look at the landscape of mixed martial arts, the UFC are not they're not promoting anybody. They're really not. They're letting the fighters do their own promoting, whether they do it in a way where they have a YouTube channel or they have an Instagram or a Twitter. Uh, it's kind of leaving it in the hands of the fighters. And when it comes to promotion, promoting and marketing. The only time I ever see the UFC promote is when they make big announcements. You know what I mean? When we're waiting patiently, you know what I mean, for Dana White on a Tuesday to potentially make an announcement. And that's really all the promotion I see. Which is basically no marketing at all. Hopefully it's just a phase until we get more exciting prospects. Ah, man, I mean that's like I said, that's still going to be costly, right? Because I do think the UFC should invest a specific, avenue where they do, highlight up and coming fighters, not only up and coming fighters that are already in the UFC, but up and coming fighters that just get signed to the UFC. You know what I mean? I think they need to do their due diligence with that as well. Uh, Highlight them, whether it's having short clips on UFC Fight Pass. You know what I mean? And having like a little small section for UFC Fight Pass that specifically only highlights those up and comers, where it can, in general, those clips can be called up and comers. And on UFC Fight Pass on the app, all you got to do is click onto it, and they have over 500 short clips that are under 20 seconds of highlighted knockouts, highlighted submissions, something entertaining that the UFC can use on the UFC Fight Pass. I think they should do all that. In my opinion, I would do it. I think I would invest in it. If I worked for the UFC and we were talking about how we should be moving forward about expanding the UFC, I think that's one way to expand it. Promote those fighters and doing what you can, to promote in the same time on UFC Fight Pass, because you never know, that little small short section of up and coming fighter clips that can be, you know, people could be very much interested in seeing that, and it could get a vibe, and that can bring more fans into buying, UFC Fight Pass. So there's a lot of ways you can look at it. Prior UFC used to make superstars like Conor, and people used to watch fights cause of fighters. But nowadays, UFC is a superstar, and people watch cause of its UFC, and not solely based on fighters. Yeah, I do see that, and I honestly think that's the UFC's fault. We used to live in a world where the UFC were doing the best they can, to be on pay per view and to be respected as a real sport, right? We lived in an era of that, and now the UFC, it's as big, it's bigger than anything they could ever imagine. I ever imagined, watching it back then. It's huge, and if you look at the way the UFC moves now, man, the pay per view used to be freaking damn near, $40 back then. When I used to watch the UFC and I used to buy pay per views, it was $40, and then they raised it to like $50. Not bad. $40, $50. That's not bad for a good Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture trilogy fight. Shit. But nowadays, man, they outpricing the general fans. I mean, look at their general tickets for nosebleed seats, guys. For nosebleed seats, you're basically sitting in your fucking car for these tickets, and you're paying damn near almost $1,000. It's it's the way the UFC model is today. Their general fans are not getting what they need, because the UFC is outpricing them. You got to pay for ESPN. You have to pay for ESPN in order to order a pay per view. You have to pay for the pay per view. Pay per view is almost $100. Um, you gotta pay for UFC Fight Pass. I mean, it's a whole bunch of nonsense that you have to pay for to be a fan, and then the tickets are just outpriced. It's out of control, in my opinion. True, because the big name is what's gonna get more fans, like McGregor going viral back in the day. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree with you, Mars. 100%. 100%. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. Okay, you might as well do it. But yeah, man, I I hope the UFC, they get a little bit more creative here when it comes to promoting and marketing, up and coming fighters. They don't even do a good job with they don't even do a good job with the Ultimate Fighter. I made multiple videos. I have over like 10 to 11 videos of me talking specifically about how they can revive the Ultimate Fighter. And I said they should have Adesanya and Strickland be the coaches for that show because they already have built-in history. But instead, the UFC put DC and Chael Sonnen as the Ultimate Fighter coaches. It just some of the shit that you look at that the UFC does, it just makes no fucking sense. It just makes you think like, who the fuck are you talking to in the UFC that thought this will be a fucking great idea, and they raised their hand and they were like, yeah, let's get two coaches that are already coaching the Ultimate Fighter and bring them back, and they're already retired and they're not going to compete against each other, but let's bring them back. That's going to be very, very entertaining. No, the fuck is not. It really isn't. I don't know what the UFC is doing these days. So that's why I have no I have no hope when it comes to, the thought process of the UFC and actually, them actually making the right moves to promote up and coming fighters. That's just pure facts, man. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers is sleeping at the wheel. Thankfully that I have a broadcast model for UFC in my country. That's what's up, man. Over here it's crazy. Have you ever been to a UFC live? No, I never been to a UFC live. Never ever have been to a UFC live. I have been to a mixed martial arts fight live. I have been to a boxing fight live, but I've never been to a UFC fight live. Never been, never been. But I would love to go. I would love to go, and hopefully I get my chance to go. To be honest with you, but we shall see if that happens. Those tickets are crazy. To spend $1,000 for nosebleed seats that I'm basically sitting in my car in. I would need binoculars, and actually, binoculars wouldn't even work for me to see, the fighters at all. You know what I mean? You would need a telescope, damn near, to watch this fight from that fucking distance. So hey, in my opinion, I'm not paying $1,000 for those type of seats. All right, and we're not even talking about buying the food, travel. You're gonna spend a good almost 10 grand. You know what I mean, on a night out. Just to go to a UFC event, and that's just being honest. If you want to have a good night, I mean, like I said, you're gonna pay $1,000 for one ticket. You're gonna go by yourself. You're gonna be a loner and go by yourself. There's no fucking way you're gonna buy one ticket and go by yourself. And if you are, good luck to you. Okay, good luck to you. Awesome. But I would love to go to an event where I go with multiple people, and it's probably gonna be me, and some friends, and I'm paying for me and a miss, what I mean, to go to this event with me, and that's already you're talking $2,200 just for those two tickets, and those are for the nosebleed seats, guys. Nosebleed fucking seats. There's no way you're gonna want to buy nosebleeds. You're gonna want to get a little bit closer, right? You don't want to be at the tip of the tip of the tip of the fucking stadium. You know what I mean? Your girl, your missus is gonna be looking at you like, "What did you do? Like, we're over here in the fucking parking lot, sitting in your car." You don't want to do that. So you want to sit a little bit closer, right? So you're gonna end up spending like about $1,500, right, for one ticket, and then another 1,500. That's 3 grand. That's $3,000 just to get into the stadium, guys. And then you're gonna spend I'll say another $600 on food and beverage for the night, right? So you're looking at 3,600. You know what I mean? Your hotel, for a 3-day, 2-day weekend, guys. You're gonna spend at least 2 grand. At least 2 grand. So right there, you're looking at 20, 25, 25. Oh no, 35, 45, 55. That's 6 grand. That's 6 grand already just to go to one event for the UFC. Okay, 6 grand, and we're not even talking about eating outside, like eating like just three meals a day. You know what I mean? You need 3 meals a day, so you got to eat during the whole process of you going to this UFC event and staying at the hotel. So we're not even including that. We're looking at a good $6,500 spent on one weekend for the UFC. Do you think I want to go to do this? No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I love the UFC, but that's definitely not worth it. Uh, Especially for the cars they've been delivering that they have been in shambles. There's no way. There's no way I'm paying $6,500, and paying in advance for a hotel and fucking the tickets, and then all of a sudden the main card it gets pulled out. Can you fucking imagine that? No fucking way. No. Um, I pay $100 for a year's worth of pay per view and fight night. Man, that's crazy, Aryan. That's nuts, man. That is great. That is great for you. That's our ESPN. That's basically ESPN right there for us. All we get is ESPN for that. Okay, that's a subscription for ESPN. All right. I saw Francis Ko Jr. Dos Santos live. Damn, Alex, that's what's up. That was a great knockout, man. Talk about Francis Ngannou coming back to the UFC, but Dana White is he got his panties in a bundle. Doesn't want to do business where business needs to be done. Fucking guy's crazy. Let me see. I want to see the back of Joe's head. Who's you talking about? Joe Rogan? UFC probably doesn't want to go to more countries because they can't charge the same price. Very true. That's most likely why they don't want to go to more countries. They want to stay in house. They want to have UFC Apex, but luckily we don't have UFC Apex for the next 3 months, guys. So thank you for the UFC gods. But guys, it's been great. I'm going live tonight. You already know it's Tuesday, guys. And what happens on Tuesday? They have on ESPN, they have the Ultimate Fighter show. Okay, they have the Ultimate Fighter show, and I will be live. I will be live after every broadcast of the Ultimate Fighter to critique the Ultimate Fighter show. Okay, so I will be live tonight, like around 11 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock. All right, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully, I see you guys later on tonight for that. And I'm out of here, guys. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Please don't forget to click that bell notification, guys. And thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for building this community. This is a channel for the fan, by the fan. And you already know, guys, I'm out of here. Until next time, y'all. Peace. One love.